All right, happy Sunday, everybody. This is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Borick. This is going to be a look ahead to the Sixers game, which is starting in about 15 minutes. It starts at 6 o'clock tonight. We are playing the Thunder, and obviously, the key to stopping the Thunder is stopping their big three guys of Carmelo Anthony, who just scored his 25,000th point, of Paul George, and of Russell Westbrook. So, those are the guys we obviously should look at coming into this game. And if we look at Russ, he averages 25.5 points with 10 assists and 9.5 boards. So he almost averages a triple double, and he shoots 44% from the floor. If we look at Paul George, he averages 21 with 3 assists and 5.5 boards, shooting 42% from 3 and 43.4 from the floor. So you definitely have to get out on Paul George. Don't let him get threes. If we look at Carmelo this year averages 17.7 with 1.5 assists and 6 boards, shooting 42 from the floor and 36.2 from 3. Melo has been going better of late, though. He's still a man to reckon with, especially against the Sixers, because he's one of those guys that is career-wise very good against us. So the Sixers definitely have to watch Carmelo. And then if you're looking at the big men, the guy that JoJo will go up against, well, that's Steven Adams, who's 13.6 with 8.9 boards and has an assist per game. He is a very good defensive center. Embiid did solid against him last game. They lost in OT. We lost in OT against the Thunder. It was a very hard fought game. That was a very tough loss. Last game, that was a ridiculous game that just kept going and going, and unfortunately, we eventually lost. And then Robertson is out for the season, so he won't be playing. Raymond Felton is somebody that did solid off of their bench the last time we played them. He doesn't average a lot this overall season, but he's somebody because of how decent he did against us last time. They might want to watch. And, of course, we have Embiid, who averages 23.6 points with 3.3 assists and 10.9 rebounds, shoots about 30 from the three and 48% overall. He just needs to keep going and going. He does everything right for the most part. He has some mistakes in games, but he hasn't had many games where he hasn't been noticed at all this season, if really any. And then Simmons, obviously Ben Simmons, needs to keep doing his thing. And there was an article the other day that was interesting. It was, what would the Sixers' big three become? Or would we just call it a big four if all these four guys get good? Because Simmons, Saric, and Embiid might be what it is right now. But then if Fultz comes in and does very well, are you just going to exclude somebody from being in a big three for keeping it a big three, or will it be called a big four? That was just an interesting article where they talked about different perspectives of things, but it is interesting. Simmons averages about 17 with 7.4 assists and eight boards. He has 5 triple doubles on the year. He shoots 51%, and his shooting has just kept getting better. He's making some jump shots now, so hopefully that continues. JJ is apparently supposed to be back sometime shortly. They don't know if he's going to be back during the break for an injury report on JJ Redick. TJ, being the main guy off of our bench, needs to just keep doing his thing and keep doing great, getting assists off the bench, scoring. It's amazing how much better he got at 3 this year. It's very good to see how much better he keeps getting each year. It shows his work ethic and how much the coaches rave about him. The Wildcat Barreau's been doing very good since getting forced into the starting lineup. And then Booker's been doing good since being here. Roko's been doing good on defense of late. We need to get him going again on offense. He's been struggling. Again, I think Rashawn Holmes should have more minutes. I say that most of the time, but he does a lot more than Amir Johnson putting it all together. So I think he should have more minutes. And then Dario. Dario's obviously been doing great of late. He averages 14 with 2.7 assists, 7 boards, shoots 44%, and about 38 from the three. So we just need to play a good defensive game against the Thunder. They are a scoring team. They typically win based off their scoring. They have a solid defense, obviously, with Russ, who likes creating turnovers. Robertson definitely hurts their defense not being in because he's one of the better defending players in the league. So he should hurt them a little bit on D because Carmelo's definitely not a big defensive threat. And then Paul George is decent at defense, but you just have to take advantage, try to create some turnovers yourself. The Sixers are a team like that. They're scrappy. I liked how scrappy Simmons was last game. Keep doing that. TJ does it all the time off the bench, and we should be good in this game. We just got to make sure we get out on Paul George, get out on the three-point line of the other guys on their team that can shoot, because there are a few others, and make sure we don't let Russell Westbrook get going and get into his rhythm in the game, because once Russ really gets going, good luck stopping him. Well, this has been a look ahead to the Sixers and Thunder. Let's go Sixers. Let's win another game. Let's beat another good team. Peace out, everybody. Have a good night. This is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Bora.